Shooting the basketball is such a unique journey and experience because there are subtle differences between the way everybody shoots. You can look at the great shooters in basketball history. Almost all of them shoot a little bit differently, but they own, their mechanics and they're able to repeat those over and over again. So, I'm giving guidelines about how to shoot, and there's things that you can copy and that you can work on. But you don't want to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to other great shooters. What you want to compare yourself to is how many shots did I make yesterday versus today? Am I getting better? Am I challenging myself? Am I pushing myself to the next limit? Best way, obviously, is to just count your makes. For me, I shoot 100 threes to end every workout. And I know based on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if I can get better, and I set a goal for myself. And you don't leave the gym until you get better. So being able to track those stats and track your progression and give yourself a goal to reach is the best way to compare yourself to yourself and get better. The reason we have such high expectations for perfecting this form when we're shooting, wide open shots, whether it's close to the basket or as we step out into, to deeper ranges, is translating that to the game where there's so many other variables going on. There's defenders, there's teammates, the speed of the game is a lot faster. So we want to be able to translate, for me, I shoot 100 shots. If I make 87, that's probably going to translate to about 60 or so in a game. And so thinking about, setting yourself high expectations and a high bar for when you're out here by yourself and really getting better and better and better so that in the game, you're able to up your accuracy and your consistency as a jump shot maker. Because we don't want to be jump shot takers, we want to be jump shot makers. Along the way, you're going to have days where you miss a lot of shots. For me, I've missed plenty of shots in my day. I've lost games. That's going to happen. The best way for you to get better is to learn from that. Why are you missing? How can you assess your mechanics in that moment to understand how I can get better and how I can take advantage of the opportunity to learn. So don't get discouraged. Don't lose confidence in yourself. Understand that misses are going to happen, but there's always room for improvement and always a chance for you to learn something about yourself as a shooter and as a basketball player. When I come into the gym to start my workout, you might think I just step out to the three-point line and start jacking up threes. That's not the best approach for me. When I start in close and start on my form shots and get my repetitions up and work on my mechanics, the thing that I want to accomplish is I want to have perfect makes to start my workout for a lot of different reasons. One is to build confidence, to see the ball go in early in the workout so that you build that confidence up for the rest of the time in the gym. You want to be able to get those perfect makes because if you're not perfect here right in front of the basket, there's no way you're going to be perfect behind that three-point line or even further out. Because if I'm missing left and right inside the paint, those same misses, I might make them in close because there's not a lot of room for error. But out of here in the perimeter, if I'm missing shots left and right, it's going to be a long day in the gym. So the way that I practice my form shooting and getting those reps up to work on my mechanics is I start in close to the basket. All the keys that we talked about, getting shot ready, locking in on your target, having the perfect follow-through and release point. You want to be able to start in close, see the ball get in the basket, work on that perfect make from in close, make about 5 makes right here in front of the rim, take a big step back, repeat that process, shooting 5 perfect makes, doing 4 spots back right in front of the rim. So that's 20 makes right there. We want to get to 100, and obviously we have 5 spots so we can go around to work on all the different angles around the basket. So we repeat that, right side of the rim, right wing, top in front, right here in front of the top of the key, left wing, left corner. Get your 100 makes, build your confidence, get those perfect makes in, and that's how you start your workout. This work seems simple, but it's stuff I do every single day. I can't stress enough how important it is to practice these basics until they're as close to perfect as you can get them. The worst thing you can do as a basketball player is to come into the gym and start firing shots up from the three-point line. You need to warm up and calibrate your mechanics in close to the basket. So your form shooting practice progression should be to start at the rim, hit 5 perfect makes, take a step back, hit 5, and keep stepping backwards until you shot from 4 spots out. Then repeat from those 5 different angles around the basket. So obviously the goal that we want you to get to is to make 100 perfect form shots with the perfect mechanics and the perfect make to build your confidence and your muscle memory. You know, right away that might be tough. You don't want to let fatigue change your mechanics or change the way that you shoot. You want to be able to build that endurance up. For me, when I was changing my shot in high school, I was starting to paint and I would get tired around shot 30 or 40. And for me to really put that time in to make that change, I had to kind of take a break, you know, however long it took to kind of recover and then come back and build my endurance up. So take that kind of principle, and once you're able to get 100 perfect form makes in one session, just think about, you know, doing that 5 times a week for 10 months. That'll get you 20,000, you know, perfect form shots. And from there, you can pretty much have that consistency and that muscle memory to be able to rely on that in competition or in a game like, you know, setting. So it takes time, but it's worth the time. But sometimes you might, you know, be sitting at home thinking, how am I going to get better today? I don't have anybody around to help me get shots up, to help me rebound, to go to the gym with me. You can't let that be an excuse for you, you know, to not take advantage of the opportunity to go get better. And so a simple, you know, drill that you can work on if it's just you, a basketball, and a rim is perfecting the toss back to yourself to be able to get into that shot-ready position and work on your mechanics. So it may seem simple, but the simple art of being able to throw the ball out with a little bit of backspin and get it into your shot is very, very key to be able to take advantage of those opportunities where you're in the gym by yourself and to get those reps up. So obviously, if I just take a little spin here, I can almost simulate a pass coming into you know, my shot pocket, getting my mechanics right, and being able to shoot from that position, get the ball back. I can do it all over again from all different angles, and you can work on your shot that way. So I can do the rollouts from all different angles. I can do it where I'm doing a little curl into the basket. You can almost even do a step back where you come in here and get shot ready. So everything is simulating a game-type pass into my jump shot, even when I'm all by myself. I learned a lot from my dad about the art of shooting, and even to the point of, you know, in workouts when you're getting shots up by yourself. He told me about a story like Larry Bird used to shoot a shot and hit the back of the rim and it would roll back to you. So you can always try to perfect that when you're in the gym by yourself, and you can be your own rebounder. I've shot countless shots in my life from the time I started playing, even now when I'm in the NBA. And as you probably know, I don't make every shot that I take. Misses happen, whether it's in practice, whether it's in the game. The biggest test for me to know if my shot is in sync and in motion, or if there's something I need to fix, is if my shot starts to miss left or right. That's when I know there's something wrong with my balance, my mechanics, my release point. There's something off along the chain that I need to address. The best way for me to miss, if that makes any sense, is to miss short and long, because I know that that's just a touch thing and that's just getting my reps in and finding that rhythm. But once I start missing left and right, that's where you really kind of have to check and see your mechanics from the ground up through your release, you know, where something might not feel right or where something's off. And so when I'm out there on the court, I'm okay if it's short or if it's long, As long as I know where my hooks are and those targets I was talking about, as long as I'm hitting those points, I know eventually I'll find, that right rhythm and start making shots. A great example of learning from a miss for me is when I start to miss the shot to the right. Most of the time for me, that means that I'm fanning my follow-through. I'm not following through straight as I normally would. I'm fanning it off to the right, and normally that ball is going to follow that same path of my follow-through. So when I start to get the little miss, I miss that ball to the right because my follow-through is off. So seeing the ball in the finish, I can work backwards and understand what about my mechanics push that ball to the right. And for most of the time, for me, that means I'm fanning my follow-through off to the right. Another way to learn from a miss is, for me, when I'm missing short, most of the times that means I'm only shooting with my arms and I'm not using my base and my legs to be the foundation of my shot. So it might be fatigue, it might be just laziness, it might be a lack of focus on my mechanics, but missing short is usually a result of not using your legs. And so when you see that miss start to happen really frequently, look at your balance, look at your shot readiness from a lower body standpoint, and see if that will help you correct that miss.